Let's Uncommon Fossil. They're taking a look at a deck that really is built to annoy your opponents. It can take 6 prizes. There's no doubt about that. You can deck out your opponents, but quite frankly, on the ladder, most of your wins are going to come through your opponent just quitting because they get annoyed and things don't go their way. So built around this Venomoth and Spidops, there's a couple different lists out there. I've kind of put this one together based on what I found. It's pretty good. I'll get to a card or two I'm not sure about, but the basic pairing of Venomoth and Spidops EX certainly very, very solid. So Venomoth, a stage 1, 90 HP, so level ball searchable. It's good. Of course, it's squishy if it's hit into, but it's nice to have level ball to search for it. And you're using the first attack here. That's the focus of this deck. Perplexing Powder does 30 damage, not a ton, but then your opponent's active Pokemon is confused, and during your opponent's next turn, they can't play any item cards from their hand. So no item cards is a big deal. We know that for sure. 30 damage isn't a lot, but it's a single prizer. It's a stage 1 energy, not that hard to set up, right? So we can stream attacks when we get knocked out. But our opponent's flipping then to do damage. If they hit heads, boom, damage, we're knocked out. Tails, and they take 30 more damage, and we can attack again. And like I said, no items, slows down our opponents. So playing a 4/4 line of this is the main attacker, like I said. But a 3/3 Spidops line, this helps the deck function, and it also helps, it's a nice attacking option too, quite frankly. Don't ever sleep on it as doing big damage. So Spidops EX, another stage 1. This one, EX, so it gives up 2 prizes. 260 HP is not bad. The first reason it's here is for its ability to trap territory. Opponent's active Pokemon retreat cost is 1 more. Because if you're not familiar with being confused, if you're playing in the IRL world or back on PTCGO, the card gets flipped upside down. Live has taken a different approach, which that's a controversial decision, I will say, not to do the rotating to signify things. But of course, they've taken a different approach to how cards are laid out and such. Anyway, but so when you're confused, the important part that's getting off track is when you attack, if you flip a coin, if heads, you do the damage. If tails, you do 30 damage to yourself. You can retreat when you are confused, though. Unlike paralyzed and asleep where you can't retreat, you can retreat, and then that gets rid of the special condition if you switch back in. Of course, they can't play an item card, so they can't play rope or switch, which is one of the things you like to do when you're confused, so that's a plus. And then with Spidops, they can retreat, but we were now increasing the retreat cost 1 per Spidops in play, so that's why it's here. And also the attack is quite nice and can get very big quickly. Warrior Hang for 2 grass energy does 90 plus 30 more for each energy in the retreat cost of your opponent's Pokemon. So whatever the retreat cost is to start with, you get that bonus, and then we add 1 per Spidops. So very, very nice here. So we want to build up that retreat cost, both to get them stuck in the active or so we can swing for big damage with Spidops EX. So a 3/3 line there. Because we can win by stalling is one of the things. I'm playing a Pidgeot V in the deck. Yes, you could attack with it. It's a colorless attacker, but it's here for its Vanishing Wings ability. Once per turn, if this Pokemon's on your bench, you may shuffle it and all hatch cards into your deck. So ultimately, you get down to the point at the end of the game where Pidgeot is the last card in the deck. You top deck it, play it on the bench, shuffle it back into your deck. You have a very simple and easy infinite loop if we've got our opponent stuck in a stall situation. We play Manaphy, right? These Venomoths are very squishy, so Manaphy is quite important. We're doing a little bit of damage, and our opponent is trying to switch out of the active, so we want to be able to move around damage counters to get the knockouts that we want. So Painful Spoons is here, right? You might want to move damage to the active so we knock it out quicker, or move damage away from the active so that we're keeping that active confused and stuck there that they can't retreat out of, right? Then in essence, with Radiant Alakazam, we're only doing 10 damage per turn, so we can really keep a Pokemon stuck there for a long time. And then we do play 1 Mew EX. This is in the list I looked at. We're all playing it. I'm not sure about Mew, I gotta say. I haven't played Mew in a lot of decks, so I'm not is up on the pluses and minuses of it at this point. What the plus is, it's free retreat, so that is good. And then here it gives you the ability. That's a lot of, and you can attack with it too. All those things are right. Once per turn with the restart ability, you can draw it. You have 3 cards in hand, which is quite nice, especially if it's a long, slow game. Drawing to 3 is useful. And genome hacking 3 energy. Now, getting 3 energy on takes time, right? And we're powering up other attackers too. We don't really have energy acceleration here, so. Getting it powered up, not easy. We kind of can only do it if we get our opponent stuck for several turns. But then you choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as MEW EX's attack. So it's a option to attack with it. Of course, it's a pivot. 180 HP, it's not that big of an HP for a 2 prize Pokemon, so I'm a little uncertain about the payoff of this in the deck, but it's in, and I'm getting some value of it, but not a ton of value thus far. It could be my play style, I'm not utilizing it right, or maybe the deck's better without it. Not sure on that point. Playing 6 basic grass energy, 1 DTE. The DTE certainly helps with the Mew attacking. That's a big part of why it's there. Pidgeot V, I guess, too, in theory, but now with the DTE, it's 2 attachments on the MEW EX, 6 energy, because we're attacking just with 1 energy most of the time, so we don't need a lot of energy, but we do have to get them into hand, so that can be a bit of a scare. Let's get it. We play a lot of supporters in the deck, so therefore it gives the deck, I think, decent consistency. Playing 4 Colress Experiment, right? Look at the top 5, 3 in the loss, 3 in your hand, 2 in the loss zone. So a very nice way to dig through the deck. 4 Ionos. Again, we don't want to deck out. Plus, we want to. If the game goes on, we're getting a Pokemon stuck in the active from our opponent, so Iono can be very good if we got something stuck and they can't get things going after they've taken some prizes. Keeping them to a small hand helps a lot. 4 Bosses Orders, just really good once again. Getting something stuck, that stall strategy is definitely part of the deck. 2 Research, obviously good to help get set up. 1 Erika's Invitation. I haven't played this before, but certainly makes sense in this deck. Supporter opponent reveals their hand. You put a basic Pokemon that you find there onto their bench. If you put a Pokemon on the bench that way, then it switches into the active spot. It's not an option about switching the active, but the whole point is to get something into the active that your opponent doesn't want there. And if your opponent's being smart enough not to bench the Pokemon to avoid boss, well, we can get them with Erika's Invitation. A bunch of Pokemon search for Level Ball. Like I said, the stage 1s of the Venomoth are Level Ball searchable, so that's very good. 4 Nest Ball and 3 Ultra Ball, which is the only card to get the Spidops EXs. But we also will draw into some too, certainly. 2 switches, because that's very useful. 2 Super Rods. We need to get those energy backs for one thing, because we don't have a lot. And Pokemon, if it's a long, grindy game, because look, it's mostly a single prize attacker, so potentially we're going to make them take 6 separate knockouts, so we need to recover our attackers. Then 1 Forest Seal Stone, certainly like that. We play the Pidgeot V. That's another plus, the Pidgeot V. Besides making it infinite, it gives us access to Forest Seal Stone. And 4 Pokemon League headquarters, just leaning heavy on it. It bumps path too, even if it's not a basic Pokemon. So attacks of each basic Pokemon in play cost 1 colorless more. So that's good. We get something stuck in the active, makes it tougher for our opponent's attack. And we want to bump path. That's another reason for 4, because we want Spidops EX's ability to work, as well as Radiant Alakazam and Mewtwo, just to help things function. So, and even Pidgeot if we need to get infinite, so bumping path is important too. So 4 Pokemon League headquarters. So a lot of 4 ofs, so a short deck list in terms of cards played, I think. Not a lot of energy, but a lot of supporters, so it does give a decent amount of consistency, right? A deck like this, getting set up is one issue, and then, of course, beating top decks is another. All right, we'll see what we could do here, see if we can show off the deck. Obviously, would love to go first as an evolution deck, both the Spidops and the Venomoth. Our evolutions. I guess it's Venomoth versus Venomoth. It's one word, so Venomoth would be 2 words. The other the basic is Venonat, I believe, so that's not an M sound. So, okay, so get to start the Venonat. That's okay. Don't want the Pidgey in play necessarily, and certainly don't want it in the active because then it's stuck there. So going second, not great. Charizard EX is weak to grass, so that's a plus for sure. Our Artisan will help me get set up this turn too. The Pidgeot EX, that really helps them get out of that lock situation. But you know, that's okay. So what do I have? I want to get down a couple of each of these. And I mean, I'm going to attach to the bench because I assume they'll knock out the active. They might not, they might be able to gust me up. So what do I need here? I need a Tarountula, I believe. Let me just look at the Spidops situation here. Yeah, I would obviously like to, get down maybe a Mew or something. I probably don't draw anything with Mew, so I don't want to put down that as a target. I'll attach here. I'm going to attach to the Tarountula because I can one-shot. I might be able to one-shot a Charizard EX, I think, with the Spidops, if I recall correctly. So not bad, right? I think Charizard's retreat cost is 2, and this adds 1 to it, so 3. So 3 times 3 is 90. So therefore, it'd be 180 base, right? And hitting it for weakness. So I believe I am doing okay. Charmander's going to be annoying. It's a bit odd playing it this early because they can't attack for a while, but that's okay. So they're just going to burn through me. Oh, that's right. They don't knock me out. All right, so I will see what I can do here. I think I'll bench both these guys. I think I would like to. Is there a basic? I might bench the Mew. I don't think I want Manaphy down. So I will just. I think I'll drop down another one of these guys, the Venonat. Just partly to thin, right? I need Colress. Okay, I need him. Do I want DTE? I think at some point, I do want DTE Mew for a big smack. Okay, I've got the energy. Okay, I'm not in bad shape here. Now they're going to evolve. That's the problem, right? They're going to evolve here. So what do I do here? I'm going to want Mew, but maybe I ditch Mew at this point. I have Rod, so I can get Mew back later, right? That's my thought. Yeah, I'll recover Mew. Mew's out of the way. He's safe. I mean, I could have used my Switch here, but I think I want to save the Switch. That's one of the thoughts I have. Now, they can't play an item card, and you know what is an item card? Rare candy. So this is potentially very good, too. They can't... The only way they can evolve Pidgey, the Pidgey EX almost never plays the stage 1. They may play a stage 1 for the Charizard EX, but they might not. So... So Tails. So now I finish them off by attacking this turn. So that's a very nice turn. I don't, and that's the way things go. Your opponent concedes. Things don't go well, and they concede. Look, there was a lot of game left, and my opponent certainly had opportunities to come back. The Charizards, it's a huge hitter. I did hit it for weakness. I had threats. I had threats, but it wasn't as if they were going to lose. You know, live people do tend to quit a little quickly, but that's kind of the way things go with this deck. Opponents don't get going the way they like, they concede. All right, we'll see what we can do in another game. Hopefully we set up well again, which we set up pretty well last game. Our opponent conceded because they weren't happy. You know, that item lock is very powerful. You know, the item lock is more, you know, in a rare candy world, item lock is huge, right? So item lock and just kind of working on setting up my bench, not a bad thing. Not a bad place at all to be. So, you know, item lock decks, you know, could be. I'm trying to think what the other item lock cards around are. So they put the Mew. It's a pivot card, so smart there. Charizard sleeves might be a Charizard deck. Don't know. Mew, of course, could slot into anything. Excuse my yawn. All right, see what they discard and see what they draw, or select. Sorry, they're not drawing. See what they take from deck, see what they put in the discard pile. 2 boss, okay. Well, I'm glad about that. And you know, because getting rid of boss is really nice. So it is a Charizard deck. So the thing is, can I keep... okay, so they're planning on attacking with Mew EX here. That's what I would say. All right, so I might want to Colress here, right? Keep the boss. I like boss, so I'm going to Colress. I'll do that first. Okay. This is attack cost of base 6, which I still might want to bump path. I might want to bump path, right? I think an energy. Yeah, I'm going to lose the stadium. I like the stadium, but I do want Ultra Ball. That's kind of what that's the path I've decided here, so to speak. All right, so I think I want one more of each of these basics. Grab another Venonat, I guess, Venom, right? Venonat, okay. And just attach here. They can't retreat though, right? Which is kind of nice, right? It's kind of nice. All right, I'm going to attack with the active. It could be a mistake, right? It takes, look, it's a pivot card, but now they lose their pivot. So that's nice. Now they have to, you know, Mew can copy my attack and do 10 to me. So this is kind of nice, right? So they have the rare candy. That's the unfortunate part about not getting them item locked yet. But that, you know, this is pretty solid. I may research next turn. We'll see. Okay. So they can attack with either card. Well, no, they need a switch card. So they drew to 3 in hand. So now what do they do? I mean, okay, they got the Pidgey. So now I definitely need to start attacking and stopping them from... I need to stop them from playing items at this point. That's real simple. Real simple. So I'm going to need to research. Because I need a switch card, right? No, I can retreat, actually. I can retreat. So maybe I'm going to call up Pidgey. I can retreat, right? Can't I retreat? Oh, they hit me back. I cannot retreat. So I got to research. Although I need to hit switch, which I don't, which is, okay, so they hit me back. Good for them. What's the switch? I have both switch and deck. So I will grab a Spidops. Why not? I'm going to evolve the Spidops on the bench, though. Whoops, don't make him big. Give me a I hit switch, so that is beautiful. So I don't know how much longer they will. Once again, we will see if our opponent, how long to keep this up. So they can look, they can one-shot me though. That is one danger we have here, right? They can one-shot me if they hit, but they have to flip heads. So as I was saying, right, like the opponent's cards, if you're new to playing Pokemon live and you didn't play PTCGO and you don't play IRL, okay, so they retreated. They had to discard one to retreat. So I think I want to. There's a good chance I can one-shot them now, right? And I like the idea of one-shotting them, I gotta say. I really do. So let me, and I probably need to research, right? Because I have to hit energy. So I'm going to get rid of these two because I might want to play them. No, actually, hang on. I'm going to get rid of Mew. And do I want to keep the switch? No, I'll get rid of that. Okay, so Spidops. I have to hit energy. Energy's not a plenty in this deck, right? We know that, but that's okay. So let me get my energy back, and I think Mew and I should have looked with the Level Ball, right? All right, I'll get another basic down there. I should have Level Balled first. So yeah, so I should have got the Venomoth up instead. But thin also just increasing the odds of the energy, which I hit. So very, very nice there. Do I want to bench? I don't think I want to bench him yet, do I? I'll just do that. I could have got the Alakazam down as well. So he's going to blow him up. Now they hit back into me. Now they can use the rare candy this turn. That is definitely a negative. But, you know, being able, a Charizard EX is a tanky boy, and being able to take him out in one-shot him is, I think, something that's worth doing. So Mew. Now the Mew, the Pokemon League actually helps against the Mew because the Mew is a basic, right? Basic, so the attack cost would be 3. So hopefully they don't have rare candy. That's what I'm really hoping. I don't have. My switches are gone. I might want a hard retreat though. That's awful. That's rough. That is off. And my opponent conceded. So that's kind of what I was expected with this deck. It's an annoying deck. It's hard for me to know at this point how effective the deck would be if my opponents played out the game, because they don't play out the game. They concede fast because it's super annoying, right? I mean, obviously, Spidops being able to one-shot Charizard EX makes them feel bad, but you know, but they can get you know, it's got big comeback ability in their deck, so it's not like Charizard was out of things. So, you know, but that and the Venomoth with the confusion and item block, super annoying. And it's obviously, look, I think it's fun to play in a deck that's annoying, and it's got some decent potential for sure. And of course, you can get them in a stall situation too, and Pidgeot's there too. So multiple win conditions. So if you want, give it a try. I hope it doesn't become too popular because I don't think it's going to be a very fun deck to play against, but it's fun making your opponent suffer and get some cheap wins through quick concedes. Take care.